Resonator this, resonator that. Have you ever resonated with the idea of quitting gacha games forever and experiencing real life? Well, if you haven't, then welcome to my YouTube channel. Wuthering Waves just released, and with it, an entire cast of characters for you to get to know and love. And Yanwu. Because Wuwa is a gacha game, you'll need to make sure to spend your resources efficiently. And that means leveling the best characters. My name is Braxophone, and today I'm going to be going over the best 4-star characters that you need to invest in Wuthering Waves. Sometimes what you need in a gacha game is a Pokemon trainer. Baichi is the free-to-play healer they give you towards the beginning of the game, but what they don't tell you is that she's f***ing broken. Arguably, the healer class is useless if you just don't take damage, which you can do a lot of the time. If you do take damage though, Baichi is the GOAT of all time. Her skill heals, and her heavy attack, well, it speaks for itself.
God, she's playing.
When Mother uses her Resonance Liberation, she heals the entire team and gives 4 stacks of Remnant and Titty. Oh fuck, goddammit. Anyways, the name's not important. You get 4 Glacio attacks, one every 2.5 seconds, even if Baichi is off the field. But arguably the most important thing about Baichi is that her outro skill gives an extra damage multiplier to your team for the next 30 seconds. Meaning your characters with 14 seconds of field time will get full uptime on that bonus damage from the Deepen effect. On top of that, your whole team can get an attack buff from her skill as well, and once you get her to S6, she can give your whole team Glacio damage bonus. Not only is Baichi an insane healer, but she's completely free and a top tier support unit with top tier personality. Have you ever wanted to be an indestructible force on par with US military-grade tanks and ground infantry while also experiencing trillions of dollars in debt? Well, now you can! Except instead of trillions of dollars in debt, it's just your HP. Blade in Wuthering Waves takes the form of a really cute anime girl with a sword and insatiable bloodlust. Dungeon's main mechanic is losing HP as she attacks with her skill and gaining it back with her heavy attacks. By using her skill in combo with different attack strings, she does different combo finishers that have certain effects, like increasing her damage dealt to marked enemies. When she activates her Resonance Liberation, she becomes more angry than Genshin players at anniversary rewards. The number one thing that makes Dungeon stand out, aside from her HP drain mechanic, is that she just does a ton of damage. And because she gives back HP with her heavy attack, she ends up being a perfect character for soloing content and stands proud as one of the best DPS in the entire game. Now, the downside is that she's risky. If you're not so great at dodging and parrying, she'll fall over pretty quickly since you're playing with her HP. But overall, for really good players, she ends up being top tier. High risk, high reward, especially for a 4-star. Her outro skill also gives Havoc damage bonus, which will be nice for future Havoc damage dealers. Overall, Dungeon is an incredible character. This is Sanhua, but I prefer to call her Kamisato Ayaka. Not only is she one of the most fun characters to play, but her damage is pretty dang significant. Her kit is incredibly simple. You swing sword, do big damage. But there's one specific part of it that stands out from the rest of the characters, and that's the heavy attack window. When you swap into Sanhua with an intro skill, use her Resonance skill, or use her Resonance Liberation, Sanhua creates a group of icicles that sort of just chill there. When you use Sanhua's heavy attack, you'll notice that there's a bar at the bottom of her screen with some parts of it being bright blue. You want to align your heavy attack with that blue bar, and after you've done that, all of her icicles will detonate, dealing a ton of AoE damage. Basically, this means that you just have to have a little bit of trigger discipline to play her, but she rewards patience and timing. With that said though, her blue bar can expand when you finish a basic attack combo, use her skill, or her liberation, so it's not super unforgiving as long as you understand how it works. Sanhua is fast-paced, and being that she's a Glacio unit, she was bound to be pretty cool. Okay, I'm sorry, that was the last one. She may not be free at AR42, because she's free for logging in, I forgot to mention that, but she's a reliable DPS character that has some of the highest damage at launch, and unless there's a limited ice DPS character that does a ton more during the time you start playing, Sanhua is absolutely worth building. The only thing better than one gun is 2 guns. First off, this dude has to be one of the most unique designs I've seen. Bro is a red-haired scientist who's like part dragon or something. More like dragging these enemies to the Shadow Realm. I am now looking for a scriptwriter to save me from myself. Mortife's damage is mortifying. He's a 4-star fusion character whose damage is crazy on its own, but he's also one of the few sub-DPS characters in Wuthering Waves right now. He's like if Xiangling and Xingqiu blended together, since he's more oriented towards fire damage and does a lot of it off-field, but does damage on hit with your other teammates. The only thing Wuhua Xiangling doesn't have is elemental reactions and Guoba. Not only does he hit hard with this skill, when he uses his liberation, he launches coordinated fusion damage attacks with whoever is on field using their basic and heavy attack. He adds quite a bit of damage himself, and that's without even mentioning his outro skill, which gives the next character you swap to a massive 38% heavy attack damage bonus. With extra sequence nodes, Mortife gets even stronger, with a team-wide attack buff and also the ability to trigger his liberation coordinated attacks on ally skill uses, which makes him work alongside so many characters as a top-tier sub-DPS. Okay, so I know Rover isn't a 4-star, but hear me out. Most MCs in gacha games are mid as fuck. There's exceptions to this like Harmony Trailblazer and HSR, but that's after a much needed upgrade. So even though the MC is usually a 5-star or the highest rating, it's not really indicative of their power level and they're free, so. Anyways, Rover in this game is unironically good, not just for damage, but also for supporting techniques. I'm not going to talk about Havoc Rover here, but specifically Spectral Rover is amazing. Their outro skill is a 3-second time stop, which lets you dish out damage unconditionally and also gives you time if you need to generate gauge, heal, or just use an echo. On top of that, all of Rover's sequence nodes are free, and the 4th one makes Spectral Rover into a healer, giving the whole team HP back, scaling on Rover's attack stat. And at S6, Rover has Spectral Res reduction on enemies. Let me tell you, it is incredibly rare to find resistance reduction in Wuthering Waves, especially at launch. So for Spectral damage dealers present and future, S6 is an incredible buff. Now if there was a 6th character in here, it'd be Fischl, as a Discord mod. This guy can summon a pillar called a Thunder Wedge, which is effectively an AoE that lets your teammates proc extra coordinated attacks of lightning damage. The nice part of it is it's his skill, so he doesn't have to farm for energy to get the effect up. His Resonance Liberation gives your whole team resistance to interruption, and looks like Chidori merged with Detroit Smash. The value of Yuanwu is that he helps you deal more overall damage through interrupt resistance and at S4, a shield, while also outputting his own damage as a sub-DPS. He's a great unit overall, and he wasn't supposed to be in this video, but I ended up talking about him anyways. Whoops. Let me know which 4-star is your favorite, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.